What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Backyard Country Living, Jeff here. It's been a bit of a spell since I've done a video. I ain't got no excuses. Lazy, busy, whatever you want to call it. Hot, summertime. But I decided I would get out and do something on these lawnmowers here today. And if you saw the other video I did on the new time cutter Max I got, Toro, I've had it nearly 6 months now, so I've had almost a full season. So I was going to kind of talk about that, and then just talk about in general as a homeowner. You know, I'm not a professional, landscape guy or anything like that, or lawn care guy rather. But I just wanted to talk about the differences that I see as a homeowner in the tractor style versus the zero turn. Advantages, disadvantages. I was always a tractor style guy coming up. Just always the mowers I had, and then I finally decided to go, this spring and get the zero turn. So we'll come in close here and we'll talk about both of these mowers and just tell you what I think. If you're debating on what should I get, if you've always had the tractor style and you were like me, you want to transition over, we'll talk about advantages and disadvantages. So over here we've got just a basic John Deere E100 series, just like, come from the big box store like Lowe's. I actually bought this from a neighbor a few years ago as a spare mower just to have. It only had about 50 hours on it when I bought it and got a real good deal on it. He was upgrading something else. There again, so it's just a basic. I keep it now as a spare mower, use it every now and then for some specific purposes or whatever. But anyway, yeah, so we'll compare that tractor style with the time cutter here that I said I got about 6 months ago. Just talk about some of the things I think advantage on a zero turn versus the tractor style. So let's start out at the front. Most all your tractor styles are going to come with standard headlights. I doubt some of them may be LED, some of them maybe not. This particular zero turn did not have headlights. If you saw my last video, I added some little LEDs down there. Don't use them that much at night, but yeah, that's something that's probably standard. I'm sure some of the zero turns come with them, but in this case, I had to add those on the zero turn. So let's talk about the decks on these mowers. So here we just got a 42 inch. It's definitely a little more difficult to get under there and clean out and everything on the tractor style versus the zero turn. You got more clearance there. You also can lift up this access panel here to get to the deck to clean it off, and also changing that belt. You can drop the deck down off of that one, but it's still a lot more work involved in getting access to the deck and changing the belt and everything. So I'd say definitely an advantage there to the zero turn for that. If we come on around here, the seat. This is a high back, much more comfortable seat. Even though I didn't get the My Ride system or whatever, this is still a comfortable ride. I would say definitely an advantage there with the seat over the the low back seat on I think most of your tractor styles are going to have that. And obviously there's getting used to the steering of the zero turn versus the tractor style. It might be a little bit more difficult for some people. There's definitely a learning curve there. But I found myself after using it a couple of times, really you don't even have to think about it. Saw one video a gentleman described, you never think about it, it was just so simple. Driving a zero turn is sort of like driving a shopping cart in the grocery store or Walmart or wherever. You kind of, if you realize and think about it, the way you steer that shopping cart is exactly how you use the handles on the zero turn to maneuver it. You do have to get used to not you can turn it on a dime and sort of dig up some holes in the yard and scar it up a little bit where you don't really have that much problem and worry with the tractor style with that. Of course, to me the biggest advantage that I quickly found out was the speed. Not only does it, is it faster. Of course, this is a much wider deck. My original tractor style was a Cub Cadet 50 inch, so a little bit nicer than that mower. But the speed at which you can maneuver across the yard, not only just the ground speed, but just maneuvering between obstacles. And you can see here most of my area is pretty flat, a few trees. But I have about acre and a half all total to mow here. I've got the little orchard over there that I mow also. I would say I cut 15 minutes at least off of the cut time, maybe even 20 if I do. I don't do the orchard every time, maybe do it every 2 weeks. But if I do the whole thing, I'd say I maybe cut 20 minutes off of the total cut time. So that's, you know, to me, definitely a significant difference. The lowering and raising of the deck, you know, you got the foot pedal system here. You push it with your foot and then just drop the peg in the proper hole. That's definitely, I like that, you know, versus, you know, here, I've got my headphones hanging there. Here you just have the, you know, I mean, it's easy to do, but still, I like, you know, do that with your hand. I just think it's much easier and nicer with the foot pedal system there. So, coming on around, as far as getting to the blades, I haven't obviously changed the blades on this one yet because it's new. I don't see really a whole lot of difference there. I have one of those little lawnmower jacks that you drive it up on and lift, you know, lift the front end up. So I can see that that'll probably be about the same, you know, driving it up on there and getting under there to get the blades off. Can't see a whole lot of difference. Both of these do have a deck wash connection. Have not used that. Don't really use it much, so I, you know, can't really say much about that. It is easy right here. You just pull a little pin to access those covers that are over the pulleys there. Very easy to pull those off, where probably most of your tractor styles you're going to have to remove a couple of bolts. So I definitely say it's an advantage on the, and there again, this is the Toro time cutter. It may be different on some other, you know, maybe things that are advantages over this Toro, or maybe things that aren't quite as nice or whatever. As far as getting on and off, I can't really see a lot of difference with this deck system here. You can easily step on it as far as getting up in the seat. So it's super easy to get on and off. Same thing with the tractor. You know, obviously it's easy to get on and off that, but definitely you can see a big difference in the seat. You know, coming around, you got a 5-gallon fuel tank here. Of course, you got a bigger engine on this 23 horse. I don't even know what. This is just a little Briggs engine on here, probably. Let's see, 17 and a half. So, but there again, that just depends on the size of the mower. As far as access to the battery, don't get much easier than that right there. You come over here, most tractor styles are going to be under the hood. Once again, that's not too difficult to get to. Changing the oil, fuel filter. There's the fuel filter. There's the oil check. And then, yeah, there's the oil filter right there. So I'd say that's pretty easy. It's easy on this one, but it is a little more down kind of into a hole, so that might be an advantage on the tractor style as far as getting to that, but either way I don't see it being very, very difficult. Air filter under there, that's easy to get to. Over here, same thing right under here, so I don't see really anything too much different. Definitely got a little bit more aggressive tires on this particular zero turn than is on this tractor style here. You know, you got your little release there if you're going to, you know, roll it. You know, just push it or pull it or whatever. On this mower, I believe each wheel is independent drive, and I don't know if you can see it right down there. There's a little lever right there, and you have one for each wheel. So you got 2 of those to pull versus 1 over there. Yeah, I don't really know. Obviously, this is a smaller wheelbase, but that's a smaller deck as well. But definitely a smaller, narrower wheelbase. Yeah, I don't know. You got a cup holder on each. You know, like I said, that has a hydrostatic pedal, but definitely much faster here. And the only thing I will say this: if you got a lot of hills, that, you know, a lot of these zero turns are definitely not the most comfortable. If it's a steep hill situation, I do out by the road, just past my house a little bit where I do mow. It is a steeper hill. I would not venture on this zero turn on that hill. I just don't feel comfortable. Whereas with the tractor style, you know how you kind of have to cheat a little bit sometimes on those hills and lean heavy to one side. I do have to do that, but still I don't feel, you know, in jeopardy or whatever on that versus this. Yeah, I would be a little bit more in fear in that particular case. So yeah, but anyway, I don't know. It just depends on your yard, maybe how big it is, and how many obstacles you got. You know, a lot of us older guys grew up on the tractor styles. We're more, you know, prone to go that route. And I did the last time I bought a mower a few years back. Somebody tried to talk me into the zero turn, and I went, nah, I'm going to stick with the tractor style. You know, you're going to pay, I don't know, I'm just going to guess on average maybe $800 to $1,000, maybe even more, probably in some cases for, you know, a zero turn, maybe a couple thousand. But there again, it all depends on, but I would say in this case for my yard and how large it is, and you know the terrain I got here, I definitely feel like it's much more of an advantage with the zero turn. So I don't know. Anyway, just use your own judgment, and if you're trying to decide, I hope this video might help you out in some way. But anyway, I appreciate y'all joining me. I try to get back to doing a few more videos, and stay safe out there, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks.